Thank you guys very much for joining me. I appreciate it as always. It has been an absolute crazy week with me running all over the place trying to get everything done. I put the video up on YouTube just to kind of show what things are happening out in East Tennessee. And I don't know how new people are finding my channel. Many of them said, "Hey, I like your channel." And they became subscribers. Many of them were women. A couple of them had rainbow flags in their profiles. I don't think they're going to be subscribers very long, if I'm to be honest. I think once they see my normal content that I put up on Better Bachelor, that'll be the end of that. But they're welcome to stay around and enjoy the shit show that I put together. Today, first on the docket, are fat blue-haired feminists making men right-leaning again. It was kind of going all the rage on Twitter. Everybody was making fun of it. Everybody was kind of like, yeah, shocking. Men like attractive women. Well, straight guys with a little bit of testosterone running through their blood. We like attractive women. We like not blue-haired fat feminists who yell at us and call us names. So we're going to talk about that for just a minute. This is from Newsweek from just a couple days ago, how hot girls became the right's new obsession. Newsflash, it's not new. Hot girls have always been men's obsession, but why are they pointing it out to just conservative men or right-leaning men, or again, men that have maybe more than 4 milliliters of testosterone in their blood? It's because of the feminization of left-leaning men, or I should say, the feminization of men. And because those men are weak and effeminate and are easily malleable and would rather get "thank you, honey, for doing as I said" sex versus "I love you and I desire you and you're a strong, amazing man and you really turn me on" sex. The first set of guys will take anything they can get. Another article that was kind of tied to it, Sydney Sweeney embraces the male gaze. Oh yes, isn't it horrible that a woman who's attractive and has a lot of men say, "Wow, you're kind of hot." Isn't it horrible that men are paying attention? Now, spoiler alert, here's what she looks like. Not Sydney Sweeney, by the way. This isn't Sydney Sweeney. This is the woman that wrote the article. She has resting smugly face. And if you don't know what smugly is, it's smug and ugly, smugly. She has resting smugly face. This is a photo she took to be on her profile for Newsweek. So that is smugly. Let me read her profile. You'll like this. Shannon Power is a Greek-Australian reporter, but now calls London home. They, that's right, pronouns, they have worked as across 3 continents in print, newspaper, and broadcast, specializing in entertainment, politics, LGHD TV, and health reporting. Shannon's covered high-profile celebrity trials. Her stories have been featured on the cover of Newsweek. She has also written for The Guardian, Monocle, BBC. And so I shouldn't say her photo, I should say their photo. Oh, God love you, you smugly lady. But I started doing a little search on this just out of curiosity. And I found this on Reddit. This is from 2 years ago, when you could still post things on Reddit that were mildly controversial without being kicked off. And this is from Kotaku. I always get that wrong. Kotaku in action. It says, newbie question, why do SJWs and progressives equate attractive women with misogyny? Many modern films deliberately have unattractive women as main characters. And what about this? This, believe it or not, this is the cast of the horrible, horrible, horrible movie, Madam Web. This is how they show up on the red carpet. Arguably, all 4 of them are attractive women. This is how they looked in the movie. They made this one chick a skater girl with a skateboard and headphones and her hair all in these kind of, I don't know, ropey knots like she's a 12-year-old. She looks okay, but they because she has a little belly shirt, but they put a jacket over that. They totally covered every inch of Sydney Sweeney's body except for 3 inches of legs. And they put this lady in a long jacket. It's because they don't, how dare you look at attractive women and find them attractive.
How dare you?
You're not allowed to do that. Same thing with the fat feminism. It's because I just did a search for fat and feminists, and it says fat feminists, often associated with body positivity, is a social movement that incorporates feminist themes of equality, social justice, and cultural analysis based on the weight of a woman. So here's kind of what it boils down to. They don't want to be beautiful for men because that's evil. They just want to be themselves, and you need to appreciate them for them being their strong, empowered, fat selves. That's not how any of this works. And so they're still going to try to shame men into maybe finding them attractive or maybe dating them. Spoiler alert, it's not going to happen. And again, I'm going to get to the article in just a second, but I'm kind of giving you the lead up because this is what society's doing. They're trying to make men not men anymore. They're trying to make men weak. They're trying to make men effeminate. Because they're more docile. They're more easier to control. They don't put up a fight. They will listen as instructed. They let the women lead. This is a theme that's been going on for years now. And now they've even found that men's testosterone levels are dropping. To the point, there was a couple of YouTubers, younger guys, but they were kind of weird and effeminate. And they took testosterone tests, and I wish I knew which video it was or content creator. They got test scores in the 200s, and they're in their 20s. Their testosterone was like the average testosterone level of an 80-year-old man.
Today we're going to find out which one of you guys is the hottest try guy, scientifically, of course. The first category is testosterone.
Testosterone is a very important male hormone. If a man doesn't have any testosterone, he loses a lot of characteristics that makes him a man.
So we have the results. Dun, 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 dun.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Why is it that they're here saying, where is it? Where they're saying here that hot girls became the right's new obsession. That's never been the way it is. Why are they associating that with right-leaning men, conservative men? Because we're the ones they hate. We're the ones they can't control. We're the ones that are not docile. We're the ones that speak our mind. We're the ones that push it against feminism. We're the ones that fight back against all of this stuff, and they can't stand it. Now, when they go to the bars, when they go to the clubs, when they go to social events, when they see a basketball player or a football player or somebody that's athletic and decent looking, the women want to sleep with them. They want those guys to raw dog them. They want to have those guys' kids. And then they want the effeminate pushover man to supply the money and taking care of them and loving them unconditionally, even if they gain 50 pounds and get out of shape. They've made this split. I think that's why most of you are conservative, or at least maybe not conservative, but at least more right-leaning. You don't get into the social justice. You don't get into the woke stuff. You don't get into all the wokeism because you can make up your own mind and you can see it's all BS. Let me talk about quickly this because this is today's sponsor actually, and so it does line up very well. This is from Black Forest Supplements, and they had this program they were talking about, turkesterone and Tongat Ali, and it's 1,000 milligrams per serving. Number one, Black Forest, they have a commitment to purity. It's effective. You're going to get some hard gains, and they have complete transparency about the products in there. And what this does is basically increases testosterone, strength, lean muscle mass, improves recovery, decreases stress, helps with fat loss. So right now, I've got 2 bottles on the way. And if you use my promo code, which is Bachelor, which I'll put the link out for you, you can actually get 4 bottles. So it's like 32 cents a day. So you can get 4 bottles of these, which is good for 4 months. It's like $38 and change. And if you do the math on it, it's about 30 cents a day. So I got a set of these coming. I'm going to be jumping into these things because I'll tell you, number one, I want to lose weight. Number two, I'm always in a pretty good mood, but having a better mood doesn't hurt. Number three, being able to gain some muscle mass and strengthen myself. And number four, it won't let the government mind control me anymore. From Newsweek, how hot girls became the right's new obsession. It all began with Sydney Sweeney's cleavage. I know, horrible. Oh, the shame. Oh, the shame. In March, the 27-year-old actress hosted Saturday Night Live for the first time, wearing low cutoffs outfits during the start and close of the show, which featured a number of jokes about her physical appearance, including a sketch where she played a Hooters waitress. SNL cast member Bowen Yang revealed in a recent episode of the Fly on the Wall podcast that the Euphoria star was practically begging everybody to make body-related jokes. She came in and was like, please, everybody, make jokes about my boobs, he said. Now, why would she do this? Because she's comfortable in her body. She is probably, maybe it's an asset that people have paid attention to her for a very long time. And if you've seen some of these programs where she was in these spicy scenes, I don't know as I would blame anybody. They say at the time, Sweeney's appearance sparked much discourse and was lauded by a number of right-wing commentators as the death of woke. More on that later. The actress had become a so-called conservative hot girl, a pinup girl for the modern-day right-wing movement, as it attempts to expand the appeal of conservatism beyond the confines of its largely older, white male base. Well, number one, there's a very large percentage of Latinos and now black men, not the women so much, but the black men that are aligning more with conservatism. And it's not so much the political part of conservatism. I mean, a little bit, but it's a lot less to do with the politics of conservatism and more the society or the societal impact of conservatism. It doesn't mean that you like Donald Trump. It doesn't mean that you're going to vote, for Republicans. What it means, though, is you want to bring back tradition. You want to bring back masculinity. You want to bring back men. You want to bring back strong. You want to bring back intelligent stoicism. Guys that take control and can bring normalcy back to the craziness. Because if you think about it, when did everything completely go off the rails? I don't know, 10 years ago? It started with Bravo Lima Mike, right? That movement. And then the LGHD TVs, specifically the T's, got in there. And then all of a sudden they want to start bringing in changing kids. And then it got into the school systems. And then it gets into the government. And then it gets, well, who are the ones pushing this stuff in the government? Mostly it's females. Who are the ones pushing it in the school systems? Females, women. Who are the ones pushing it in the health organizations? Women. And who goes along with those women? Weak, effeminate men. They're the only ones that go along with this and say, yes, boys can be girls, girls can be boys, men can be women, women can be. They're the ones that go along with it. I've yet to see too many testosterone-laden men that work out in the field with their hands that are strong and masculine say, oh yeah, I totally agree. No, every time it's some weaselly, effeminate person or a weak-minded person that goes along with this. And it's women that took us down this path. Now again, not all women, because there's a lot of women that push back against this stuff. But it's the blue-haired, the fatties, the weirdos, the feminists, the DEI, all of them. And that's why they've now assigned, so this headline really isn't how hot girls became the right's new obsession. The headline should say how hot girls became masculine traditional men's obsession in the first place, and how weirdo, effeminate, blue-haired, loser lefties no longer care. Or they do care, but they just realize they have no shot at it. So instead, they're going to be these groveling, weaselly, weak-ass men that'll just try to kiss up. And I did exactly as you asked, honey. Can I maybe just touch you a little bit? Will you give me a kiss or let me take you to the bedroom now? I did as you asked. That's those kind of men. But the funny thing is, women don't die, aren't just like, oh, I must sleep with these men. They're so attractive to me. It's, this is a guy I could marry. He'll take care of me and the kids. He can stay home while I go work. I hope he's a good cook. Those are those kind of men. And we don't want to be that kind of men. We want to be the men that fix things and do things and correct things. And so we push back against this stuff. So again, this is a lot less about how conservative men are into hot girls. It's conservative men will not put up with the fat feminists or the blue hairs or the boss bitches or the power tripping women, the ones that demand all the things. We just won't put up with it. And that automatically now apparently makes us conservative. I'm fine with that label personally, even if I don't feel that that's actually what I am. But if they're going to label us as anything, well, I guess that's as good as anything else. They say Sweeney and other conservative hot girls don't necessarily have any tangible involvement with politics. Wait a minute. They say Sweeney and other conservative hot girls don't necessarily have any tangible involvement with politics. So how do you know they're conservative then? That's my question. They say, though some have strong political affiliations. Well, I would say that maybe makes them having a tangible involvement with politics, wouldn't you? But they've been claimed by right-wing public figures as their own. No one's claiming them. What it is they just go viral. The Hawk Tuah girl, right? She went viral. Why? Because she has a Southern accent. She's a Southern girl. She kind of went viral for that crap. And then, now I don't know how she votes, but that's not the argument. We at least are not talking about politics with this stuff. We're talking about societal issues. The left-leaning society, the blue hairs, we know which way they vote, but even when it's not election season or voting season, they have certain causes, mostly hating men, saying that it's part of the patriarchy, saying that we're weak and we're nothing and they hate us. That's their big thing. They're feminists. Feminists always vote the same way. Well, at least for the most part. They say the conservative hot girl isn't a particularly new phenomenon. Victoria Cann, an associate professor at the University of East Anglia in the UK, told Newsweek, women have been positioned through the lens of masculinist imagery in conservative populist politics for a very long time. Sweeney appears to have kicked off the latest wave of conservative hot girls at a time when conventional beauty standards have been adopted as a purported antidote to wokeness. So they say, when they talk about conventional beauty standards, this is what the left hates. The left hates conventional beauty standards because they're not beautiful, because they don't want to take care of themselves. They're fine getting fat and saying you need to love them for being fat. Again, fat feminism, body positivity movement. They don't want to be, because it's for the male gaze. I'm not going to design myself for the male gaze. Okay, well then you're going to be a weird fat girl and we're not going to be into you. And ironically, there are girls of bigger sizes that men are still into. I see some of the women in my comments and chat where some of you guys would be like, oh man, I like a girl like that. And me personally, I look at her and I say, no, I'm not into that. If I jumped on a girl that size, I'd look like I'd look like a fly humping a potato. Not my type of, but some of you guys are into it. But more what it is it's the blue hair and the armpit hair and the feminism and the stinking and the nose piercings and the body counts in the hundreds and the I hate men. And all of that makes a picture that when I type something in to AI, such as this photo that I use for this thumbnail, and I say, Grok, show me a picture of a feminist at a rally. And they put chonkers over here with a megaphone and green hair and fat. That wasn't me that plugged that into the AI. That was the AI coming up with it. How does AI know what photos to make? It scrapes the internet and it finds out what pictures are posted with protests and all that stuff. And so even AI now understands that these women are fat and weird and unattractive. The left wants to say it's not conventional beauty standards. Well, that's just beauty. That's just beauty. Being overweight and unhealthy and piercing your face 23 times and sleeping with anything that moves and being hairy and stinking is not attractive to men. And if men do find that attractive, they probably fall into the G of the LGHD TV stuff. They're a little bit of the gate swings both ways, if you know what I'm saying. They say that word, wokeness, was initially associated with progressive movements, but has since been co-opted by conservative critics to mock what they perceive as excessive political correctness, virtue signaling, or a tendency to overemphasize identity politics. Correct. Absolutely correct. Amy Tatum of Bournemouth University told Newsweek that this focus on hot girls is a way for the right in the U.S. to fight back against perceptions of wokeness. Holding up women in a sexualized fashion could be a tactic to reinforce gender stereotypes around women's appearances. Now, here's what it is. Traditional men like traditional women. Guys like hot girls. Guys like women that are in shape, that are beautiful, that smell nice, that are soft, that are agreeable, that are feminine, that can be traditional, who don't want to be the boss bitch and argue every time we want to talk about something. But they can't stand that because, again, that's masculinity. That's pushing back against their agenda and what they want to push forward over you and what they want to tell you to do. They want to tell you you should love a woman for whoever they are. If they're disagreeable, if they're angry, if they're a bitch, if they want to grow arm hair, if they smell, if they want to pierce their face 20 times, if they have a body count of 100, that is their right. That is their right. And you should still love and appreciate them for the way they are. And our answer, because we're strong, we're masculine, we're traditional, we don't cow to people, is you. No. No. And then we say you're woke. And who are the people that are doing the woke stuff? Well, this Amy Tatum, she went to college. She's woke because of her comments. The article writer is a woman. She's woke because of this stupid article. All the women and the feminists and everybody else that are writing these scripts for Hollywood and these scripts for TV, they're woke because they got to push the message down our throat. And the fact that they're writing this article pointing out that strong conservative men like women that look like Sydney Sweeney instead of women like resting cow face over here, resting smugly face. And she's mad. She's mad that men like Sydney Sweeney, the men she wants to sleep with, the men she wants to date, want to be with women like Sydney Sweeney. All she's left with are the effeminate fat boys with neck beards and blue hair that like to cry over movies like You've Got Mail, and they want to stay home and probably breastfeed the baby for her, literally. And that's the kind of men she gets. And she can't stand it. And that's why this article exists. And that's why I'm reading it. Because, again, it's not right-wing or politics. It's conservative men with conservative values. Socially conservative men. And that drives them crazy. Because we can't be controlled. They say following Sweeney's appearance on SNL, a right-wing political commentator, Richard Hanania, shared a clip of the actress on the show in a low-cut dress with a caption, "Wokeness is dead." An opinion piece in Canada's National Post asked, are Sydney Sweeney's breasts double D harbingers of the death of woke? The author of that piece, Amy Ham, wrote that Sweeney knows she's admired and owns her sex appeal with zero apologies, arguing that today's diversity, equity, and inclusion advocates have discouraged admiration of beauty due to its exclusivity, implying that exclusion equals hate. We aren't supposed to admire Sydney Sweeney's beauty, but we've done it anyways, she added. The point was echoed by Inez Fletcher-Stepman, senior policy analyst of the Independent Women's Forum and self-proclaimed anti-feminist. Men don't only like Sydney Sweeney for her boobs. They like her because she's the first starlet in a long time to unrepentantly and cheerfully chase the male gaze. Stepman wrote on X, after Sweeney's SNL debut, she is clearly giving permission to ogle and enjoy that feminine power, an oasis for men in a nut vice culture. In early August, Sweeney posted a series of photos on Instagram with a caption, "I think they call this a thirst trap." The sports commentator Joe Kinsey later shared the images on X with a caption, "It's a bad week to be a militant blue-haired lesbian and a thread of messages that also included posts about university sororities. Now, it looks like the photo's either been removed because, God forbid, a conservative woman or a woman that would make blue hair women blush and feel bad about themselves, they have to get it pulled down. They see this as a threat because when men see women like this and they say, wow, she's beautiful, or wow, she's got a great body, or wow, I'm really into her. And then Miss Thing over here, resting smugly face, says, but those are the men I'm attracted to. Why aren't they paying attention to me? They need to look at me the same way as they look at Sydney. And it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And that makes them angry. It makes them angry at attractive women who take care of themselves and that appreciate men and that are feminine for men. And they use their wiles to get men's attention. And so far in every interview I've heard of Sydney Sweeney, she seems kind of based and kind of fun. Now, Haley Welsh, I do not understand her rise to stardom. Me personally, I think it's embarrassing and stupid. But to maybe younger guys, because I'm a little bit of an older guy, maybe to younger guys, they say, you know what? She's funny. She's based. She's laid back. She's a country girl, probably like somebody in the Midwest would date or something or other. And they say, hey, I'm kind of into her. I can understand that a little bit. I can certainly see why she's more attractive to men than, I don't know, the blue or pink or green-haired feminists that hate men. They say Sweeney isn't the only young woman getting the conservative hot girl treatment. Haley Welsh, better known as the Hawk Tuah girl, shot to fame in June after she appeared in a TikTok interview in which she offered dating advice. When asked by the interviewer, what's one move in bed that makes you man go crazy every time, Welsh replied, you got to give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing. The 22-year-old from Tennessee has no obvious link to any political party, but this hasn't seemed to matter. Because it's not, the mouth breathers over at Newsweek. This isn't about politics. When guys are saying conservative, they're talking about the women and society and the social norms and the social mores. They're not talking about politics. Now, the fact that she has anything with stars and bars on it pretty much makes her conservative because the left, she's got her own merch line. Yeah, see, I mean, if she's got stars and bars on him and she's from Tennessee, I'm sure she's conservative. You know what? Good for her for cashing in on her 15 minutes of fame. I'm not even going to hate on her. I mean, I hate her, but I hate the whole idea of her, but I'm not going to hate on her. If I went that popular, I'm sure I'd come out with a stupid line so I could try to retire by the tender age of 25 if I was her. How many attractive leftists can you think of? And I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about like progressives. There's not a whole lot of them. There's not a whole lot of progressives because they're into body positivity. So they end up dyeing their hair and getting a bunch of piercings and I mean, I'm not even going to read down through the rest of this because it's not about the conservative party. It's about pushing back against the wokeness. All right, let's do a dating profile of the day. This would be one of those, I don't know if this is a feminist or not. Probably. But right off the bat, and this is the woman, and this is why I say I think she's probably feminist. Because she's looking for a man that meets a grocery list. You know what I'm saying? Like she's looking for a man that's going to meet a grocery list of hers. Here's the things you need to do for me. Here are the demands I'm making. She doesn't say what she's looking for in a dude. She believes she is the selector. And she believes the men must stand in a line and let her choose if they will be selected or not. That is what feminine men do. Strong men will either say, like, here's what I'm looking for. She says, well, I'm not into that. He's like, pass. Or he'll smash and then pass. Or if she's really into him and he finds out she's weird, smash and pass. But here's this is Stevie, 38. Oh, Stevie, honey, you're 38. We need to slow down on how much time you have to be demanding. She says, top 10 to satisfy me. Communicate with me regularly. What does that mean? Now, if she just means, like, please talk to me because I'm used to getting pumped and dumped, I get that. So, yes, but maybe establish a relationship before that happens to you. Number 2, feed me. Well, you are 38 and your arms are getting a little big, so that's probably not a great idea. Cuddle me. Cuddle you?
It's one of the worst deals ever made of any kind, signed by anybody.
No. Just like this is the weird, gross stuff. Cuddle me. I don't even know you. Can we go on a couple of dates and maybe decide to be in a relationship? I'm not just going to cuddle you. Again, unless it's maybe a drunk pump and dump, and after the guy gets off, he falls asleep on top of you. I'm just saying. Pay me compliments. No, you can't demand people pay you compliments. You have to earn compliments. You earn them by being sweet and being nice and being kind. You don't get to demand it. This is why I think she's probably a feminist. She says, don't be a douche. That goes both ways. Thank you. She said, number 6, be available. This is why I think she's probably been pumped and dumped. She's like, please stick around and be available. Don't smell like ass. Well, I think that's probably universal. If you're running into that problem with the men you're dating, maybe it's a you thing. Be understanding to my busy life. Well, she's a boss bee, and you must tailor your life around hers. Don't demand too much from me. What's too much? Very vague. Demand you build me a house? I could see that would be demanding too much. While you're up and at the fridge, could you please get a glass for me? How dare you? Stop telling me what to do. You misogynist. Don't try and change me. And there it is. There it is. Don't try and change me. Because she's problematic. She's probably dated guys that said, you know, you're too strong on this, or I don't like when you do this, or please don't do this. And she said, don't try and change me. And those guys say, okay, peace out, I'm gone. And they're out. The end. That's on you, lady. That's all about you.